Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Leslie Allen with the Center for Holistic Healing, and I am here today with Ashley. She is a client that has gone through our functional medicine program, and she is so amazing that she's willing to share her story and her experience with everyone else regarding the results that she gained. She did amazing. She was a great client. She showed up, she worked hard, and she got the results that she was looking for. So Ashley, why don't you start by just letting us know what was your experience? What were your symptoms like prior to coming into the program, and what really prompted you to want to join?
Great. Yeah, sure. I'll share. I hope, first of all, that this gives everybody hope. For me, it started abruptly, I guess. One day, going about my day, I'm a mom of 3 young kids, and I got an ocular migraine, and it just completely changed my life. For me, it felt like one day to the next, but in hindsight, and through the program, I understood there was warning signs there that I just never looked at. I was living my life on autopilot. It was go, go, go. I wasn't really aware of what I was eating and how I was taking care of myself. And so along with the ocular migraine came just like, I was having symptoms of like depression, major anxiety. I kind of would, it was these really weird symptoms that you never hear about. It was like, kind of a buzzing noise, and I had visual snow, and I had extreme light sensitivity. It just completely changed my world, my life. It was
scary.
Very difficult, super scary. I of course went doctor to doctor. What's wrong with me, a neurologist, a regular doctor. I obviously believe in functional wellness, so I went to a functional medicine doctor, and no one really had kind of the answers. Of course, I changed my diet and I started doing things, naturally, but I realized even a year in, seeking all this help, that I didn't feel myself. I knew something was wrong, and I really just didn't have the answer that I guess I wanted yet. Every doctor was kind of like, oh, you need Xanax, you're just stressed out, you need to relax, this is why you have all these symptoms. I was so emotional. I mean, I would cry for no reason all the time. But then when I would go get my hormones checked at the doctor, everything would come out normal, and everything was like, you're a healthy young woman, you just gotta, not stress out so much. And I just was like, something is up. So I was at the end of my rope. Religion and spirituality is a big deal for me. I would pray and pray. And then one day I'm on Facebook, and I see, Dr. Leslie and her program. And I read, her testimony, and it resonated with me. And I thought, what is this, a sign? I was skeptical. I was like, I don't know. I'm seeing this ad on Facebook. I'm not sure, but something inside was like, why not? She gives you a free 30-minute consultation. And I thought, why not? Let me schedule a call. Let me do this. I'm desperate. I'm not feeling well. I have nothing to lose, So, when you're under that much anxiety, you just have this fear, and it just like weighs over you. So I was so scared, and even to start something new and to put myself out there, and to, you're like frozen.
That is what I find with a lot of people that have anxiety, even on the call. It's like, it's almost a crippling thing to take that step forward, because you are in such a fearful state and so driven by the anxiety that you're experiencing.
Completely. And, it is irrational, and you have these irrational thoughts, but you're so deep in it that you're not able to see that, and you're just consumed by it. So, I went through, I did the call, and immediately, like, Leslie was so warm and supportive, and she listened, and almost immediately I felt like, oh my God, I'm not alone in this.
Mm-hmm.
And which was the number one thing. All the other doctors I went to made me feel like I was alone. And what are these symptoms? And what are you talking about? And, and so even more isolated, more fear, more anxiety. And so it would kind of spiral.
Right.
But when I spoke with Leslie, she was like, look, we're going to do these tests. We're going to get results. We're going to, and I
We're going
thought,
to do it
wow.
together. And I think that's probably the biggest thing, is that everybody that you were seeing prior was a visit to visit situation, whereas with our program and coaching and literally kind of holding your hand week by week to make sure that you get the results and to continue to reassure you you're on the right path, or this is part of the process, because it's not, I mean, you can tell everyone, like, healing is not this like perfect, like, oh, okay, I'm all better now. I mean, there were ups and downs for you throughout the program, but I think that that's where that open communication and the coaching style really helped to keep you on the path.
Absolutely. I don't think I could have done it without the support, like holding me through it, on my bad days, sending me a text, or just, I love the group calls. You're able to just connect with other women that are, dealing with the same thing that you are, and know that, again, you're not alone. But yes, the step by step, the week by week, it's everything. And then also the knowledge that you learn from the group calls, and just everything. It makes all the difference to step a little out of your comfort zone and get out of your fear. To know that there is somewhere where you can heal.
Right. So tell us, what were your biggest victories and changes with your health? Because you had some pretty big ones. I mean, you were exhausted whenever we started, and you had gone from exercising to not really exercising anymore. And just
it was I didn't have any energy. I mean, I would literally, it was difficult to get through my day, the day to day, and not only physically, and I was in pain. It's like my body hurt, my mind was like foggy, and it was really hard for me to concentrate. It was really hard for me to do anything, extra. I mean, it was like, everything was difficult. It was just, it just took a lot of effort to do very normal, everyday things, like pay the bills or go get groceries for your family, or, it was just very overwhelming. Everything just felt really overwhelming. And starting the program, once, I want to say 3 weeks in, like once Leslie put me on my regimen with, the supplements, I started to just like, whoa, like the light kind of turned back on. And I was like, wow. I mean, I had, energy, like it was, I can't explain it. All I know is that I lived it. And it was just like a little like spark of who I was before this whole incident was starting to come back. It was in my, it was like my personality, like my mood. I went from crying on the couch probably every other night to being like, oh my God, I haven't been there. I haven't done that. Wow. I haven't had these irrational, thoughts floating around on repeat in my head, as much. It didn't happen from one day to the next, but I started to see improvements at 3 weeks in.
So will you take a moment and just explain, because I think this is the hardest thing. People get caught into the trap because the labs that we do use in the program are very comprehensive, and some of the best labs on the market. And, and a lot of people will try to sometimes take kind of that other approach of, and you even had done several labs before you ever even came into the program. So just share kind of what was the difference when we reviewed the labs and really were able to look and see what are your genetic tendencies, where the different biological pathways had kind of been blocked. And then rather than looking at your diagnoses, because it's not like I said, okay, this is what we're going to do specifically for visual snow. We actually kind of went upstream and said, okay, Ashley, this is where, genetically, here are your tendencies. This is how we need to support the body long term, but then also just really supporting you from the root level rather than chasing all your symptoms. So I want you to share a little bit about what that experience was like, because I do think that that is a part where people kind of get hung up. Like they don't really understand the difference in the labs that can be performed.
Absolutely. I'd gone in for several labs just trying to find an answer to why I was feeling this way. And with Leslie and through the program, it was immediately different because there was so much explanation. There was so much, like, I guess, thought put into it, behind every single thing, with you filling out your family history, to just, so many details. You automatically felt like this is special, this is different, no one else, no other doctor took the time to ask me about this or took this into consideration. So I felt like it was really getting like the whole picture, the whole movie, rather than just a picture of one thing when you go to the doctor. And, at least my feeling with all the other doctors was like, you're in and out, and I had so many questions. I had, I wanted to know more. And I felt like through this program, it allows you that space to ask whatever you want, and you're never rushed or, and if they don't know, they're going to find out and they're going to get back to you. And so everything was just explained so wonderfully that it just made you feel comfortable. And I think all you want when you're feeling the way you're feeling is you want comfort, and you want to know that, someone's listening to you and somebody's caring about you. And that's exactly, how I felt through the program. Of course, when your body's not working correctly, or your mind, it was I was nervous. Oh my gosh, I have to do these exams at home and I need to go ship them out. And, but at the end, again, she holds your hand through it, and so she's able to say, okay, make sure you do this in the morning, and make sure you, get this in. And so again, you feel comfortable. You're like, I can do this, and there's other women doing the same thing. And and
we all do laugh about it in the group. And by the way, it's not blood serum labs, so nobody's like drawing their own blood at home. So
no. They're very
Let me
simple.
get the syringe out.
It is. It's simple and it's easy.
You're exactly right. Those first 30 days are challenging. And honestly, what I told you and what I tell every single person that I screen coming into the program, I'm actually looking for the right fit of who can come into the program, because it's not just, hey, I'm going to tell you what to eat and prescribe a bunch of supplements. Like it literally takes work. And as Ashley was mentioning, it is a holistic approach, meaning we look at everything from sleep routine to stress management strategies to interpersonal relationships or intrapersonal relationships. What's the conversation that you're having with yourself every single day? One strategy that we had to use with Ashley and a lot of the people coming through the program are positive affirmations. So making sure when we get stuck in that rut of dishealth, we begin a conversation that's often negative, and our brain is telling our body, like, look, why am I sick? Why have you failed me? Rather than seeing future pacing and seeing yourself in your ideal health state. And continuously, when you start to get into that negative thought patterning, changing your thoughts and and seeing, visualizing yourself in your healthiest, happiest state. So that way you can raise your vibrational level to a point where you can heal. So there's a lot that is involved in the program. Ashley, you have just seriously, I mean, you've become a really good friend of mine. So obviously I've enjoyed
Yes.
the time that you've been in the program, and watching you do the work and get the results was just, it really makes like what I do worth doing every single day. So thank you so much.
Mhm.
Really
No, thank
hard.
you. I'm forever grateful. I'm really forever grateful to you and program. It's like, wow, it's life changing. I mean, how can you live your life not feeling well, you know?
Right.
And so I feel like in turn, I'm like a better mom, and there's no price on your health. Like there just isn't. So, you know, if you feel good, it's like,
You
gosh,
can,
it's everything. So
it is.
yeah.
Yep. All right, thank you so much. I'm going to
Thank
jump off
you.
of here. We're going to end the video. If any of you watching are interested in learning more about our program, I do a complimentary orientation call where I will ask a series of questions to just see, you know, what you do have going on with your health, and if you're a right fit for our program. If not, I still point you in the direction needed in order, you know, where I feel like you need to direct your attention and your research in order to get the biggest results that you can. So anyhow, thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us via our website. It's www.chhpyt.com, or you can also search up the Center for Holistic Healing.